It's not a secret that Marvel and Fox are involved in a secret war of their own. So, as we know, they both have rights to different Marvel characters for movies, for cinematic purposes. But it looks like Marvel has been doing a little bit in the way of sabotaging Fox a bit in terms of the X-Men, also Fantastic Four. And it goes back to doing something that shocked many people last year, which was canceling the ongoing Fantastic Four series, having them appear as more like supporting characters in different comics that are related to movie titles and also Netflix that Marvel does have control of. Let's take a small sampling at what has been done so far. So here in some merchandise, we have this cover of the heroes that are supposed to be included, including Cyclops, Wolverine, Nightcrawler. I can't really see this. I think that's Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it's Nightcrawler there, and you even have the old Captain Marvel.
Human Torch. And then basically the original art was photoshopped for merchandise to include characters such as Daredevil, Inhumans, Black Panther.
you got Iron Fist
Doctor
there.
Strange, Iron Fist, Luke Cage in the middle.
I mean, I love Iron Fist, but what are you doing there?
Coincidentally, all of those characters have upcoming projects on Netflix and also in the cinematic universe. And this has happened again. You may notice in the background we see Fantastic Four characters that have been omitted in the t-shirt on the right, though we do see some Johnny Storm fire trails still there. I guess they couldn't Photoshop everything out.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit kind of erasing their own history in order to sabotage what Fox is doing in the cinematic universe.
See, with those examples, it's not technically sabotage where that's concerned. They no longer control merchandising rights for those characters.
That's right.
So they're not allowed to include them even if they wanted to in that because Fox controls the merchandising rights for that.
Yeah. I thought the way it worked was that Marvel had stopped giving out merchandising rights for those characters at all. So we had a different company that was creating beautiful statues. They had already released a Magneto, but then they had those rights pulled and they had to cancel their line. I thought Marvel was just like putting the kibosh, I'm thinking about Seinfeld all day, on all of the ability to cash in on merchandise.
I think it's that to a certain extent, but also I think they're trying to focus on, obviously, the characters who they do have in their future projects.
Yes.
Understandably so. And with Fox, it's interesting because they're able to come to a deal with Sony to play ball, to get Spider-Man to come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But they can't do that with Fox because Fox has managed to create a successful organization, a successful cinematic universe of their own.
Yeah, and they're just about to do even more work. They've essentially undone canon with X-Men Days of Future Past. They're going to develop a new canon involving the new reboot of the Fantastic Four, more X-Men movies all together, and making their own cinematic universe. And if Marvel were to ever regain control of those characters, they would almost assuredly destroy both those canons.
Oh, of course. I think they might take bits and pieces of what work and what doesn't because Marvel is not stupid. They are very shrewd operators. They understand certain things are fan favorites, so I'm sure they would try to incorporate what they could. But at the end of the day, you're right. They're a business. They're going to make sure that what they do belongs to them. And if there was going to be something where they have to pay out an outside source, they definitely would not do that because Marvel is also an organization that likes to play things close to the vest, and they keep the purse strings very tight.
Yes. One thing that really concerned me about this is that the minimization of the Fantastic Four and X-Men. Well, X-Men not as much as Fantastic Four, because X-Men is still hugely profitable as a comic series, is minimizing the characters so much, putting them in the background as supporting characters to bankable characters, that will eventually, it could make public interest in those characters wane down. You can eventually see a world where Doctor Doom doesn't need to exist, and we don't need to see anything from Wolverine or what have you anymore. And that saddens me. Two, does that sabotage their own characters?
Well,
destroy public interest?
It does to a certain extent, yes, but they're also focusing more on the movies that they're putting out. They have such a rich catalog of characters that pushing a few to the side is not going to impact their business.
But they're major and important characters.
Oh, I agree. And here's the other thing. I don't think that they're going to totally do away with these characters. I think it was sort of just a bit of posturing before Secret Wars, because after Secret Wars finishes, they're hitting the reset button on much of their canon. They're pretty much reinventing a lot of the stuff, relaunching whole new lines. Like the whole makeup of the Marvel Universe, they're collapsing the Ultimate Universe and the 616 in on each other to make like one new world.
Will that include the characters that have been left out? I mean, Deadpool was conveniently killed right before this. Wolverine will not be participating in Secret Wars. I mean, do they get erased or do they get like revitalized stronger than ever?
No, it's already been announced. One of the post-Secret Wars books that's coming out is called Deadpool versus Thanos, and that they're both going to be competing for the love of Death herself. So I think these characters will continue to live on, not necessarily in an ongoing book, maybe in miniseries, but I don't think that they're just going to do away with such a big part of their history.
All right, very good points. Thank you for telling me that. I didn't know about it. I'm going to look it up now.
Real good.
All right. Well, maybe it's not as dire as we might worry that it would be. What do you think about the war between Marvel and Fox? And will there be a winner? Is the loser just us? Let us know below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe for more.